And just a price calculation for fuel, energy, the amount of loans, favorable interest rates, the total benefit to Ukraine.
So what is democracy? We have a situation right now in late 2024 where Donald Trump is about to start his second term as president. Now, in January 2021, on January the 6th, he notoriously stirred up a crowd which attempted to overthrow the election of Joe Biden in November 2020. So now we have a particular situation in which Trump, who was never really genuinely prosecuted and tried for his involvement in that particular attempted coup d'etat, is about to take power again in the United States. As well, in Israel, we have daily protests, pretty much, or we did, against the government of Benjamin Netanyahu. The Israelis now seem to be winning in their wars against Hamas and Hezbollah, but it's an open question whether with the resumption of power by Donald Trump, Netanyahu and Trump will form a coalition to have a war with Iran. Iran itself has quote-unquote elections, but those are tightly controlled by the mullahs, the religious leaders in power. And the Iranian secret police are notorious for rounding up any dissidents and hanging them publicly in some cases, or beating them to death. In Turkey, the government is authoritarian. It's democratically elected, sort of, kind of. The leader of Turkey, Erdogan, has been waging a war against the Kurds in northern Syria. He may be moving toward a peace agreement with them, but before this moment arrived, Turkish troops were bombing infrastructure in northern Syria, including water supplies to civilian areas. These are exactly the same sorts of war crimes that have been leveled against Netanyahu and that have resulted in Netanyahu being accused of war crimes by the International Criminal Court. Is there a sort of a double standard here at work? Nobody is putting pressure on Erdogan to the same degree that they're putting pressure on Netanyahu. Similarly, in North Korea, the leader Kim Jong-eun has sent approximately 10,000 North Korean troops to Russia to fight on its behalf against Ukraine, particularly in the Kursk region. And according to reports on Korean social media, the families of these North Korean soldiers, who of course have no interest or even comprehension of the war in Russia and Ukraine, they have been attempting to protest, but in turn they've been suppressed very thoroughly by the government, and those families have been sent away just to sort of quiet them down and allow this de facto creation of a mercenary army take place. A lot of young North Koreans are going to die as a result, fighting in a war that they barely even understand or care about. Over and over again, we see these patterns of either authoritarian regimes, outright dictatorships, or alleged democracies acting in non-democratic ways and really not caring about the opinions of their own people.
By the end of 91, the debt of the USSR to the foreign countries and funds.
The weapons folk are in a cafeteria where the menu is swell. It's straight from hell. The weapons folk are in a cafeteria where the menu is swell. It's straight from hell. The weapons folk are in a cafeteria where the menu is swell. It's straight from hell. On the menu are quail and snail and foie gras and crisps, while in the middle of the table and cooked by beams sits a calf supplied by Raytheon. Its meat half cooked and bleeding. The weapons folk are in a cafeteria where the menu is swell. It's straight from hell. The weapons folk are in a cafeteria where the menu is swell. It's straight from hell.